Welcome to TradeTheNBA.com. This is Jonas Reporters for the 2nd of April, and well, the prediction from years ago suggesting that we would head towards 4,000 given where things were headed with the stimulus, and sure enough, we finally break it and then move to the typical 4,020 now. That's a kind of classic move before we start to see any kind of retraces and stuff like that. But looking at it from our NBI indicator, we're still within clear buy configurations within that, and actually we've got green above cyan on the DOC as well. So a lot of positive activity. Of course, we expect it to be up near the 100% mark because of the rising gold, and when that's on a daily, much more powerful. Of course, the NASDAQ is behind, but catching up quickly. Significant move, getting, well, pretty close back up to that 76%. We're just over the 61 right now, and still below the ABM gold level that sits right there above it from way back all the way into February. So auspicious start, and it'll be interesting too because we'll start with new fund money in here another couple of days, so that could be significant to continue the rally. Of course, here's gold, beautiful double bottom. I mean, that's actually ironically perfect configuration, and taking place right with the orange dip below the red and the pop up of the green. So bullish from that configuration without question. And euro just popping back within its ugly zone. It's actually even a potential for a decent buy setup, but with minus 19, you get the positive bounce. It's going to take a little bit of effort to pull that out of the bottom. So I thought this was fun to mark. What we've been talking about is within what we normally see as DOC spreads, which is the short configuration of the shorts going above the red and usually with that declining. And it's consistent with NBI signal, but what I was pointing out is, well, there's a couple of elements. When you dip to the negative numbers on the red NBI, because they're not supposed to be negative, you're going to get a bounce back, and just a couple of bars, but it started. The secondary item was just the turnaround move of both either green, the red going above green, or even the orange spiking and turning around over the yellow, because it's the same equivalent as a buy signal. And usually it's happening within 1 or 2 bars of that initial signal, and you can't ignore that base signal, but there are elements that I'm looking at that will help us avoid it, because typically it's usually a one-time bar move that the gyration just pushes the signal. So going to work on correcting that one, because for all intents and purposes, I mean, it looks good when you're in this cascade, but doesn't produce any continuation. And speaking of which, we talked about continuation. These are those areas where we're looking at bullish runs where you have the red sits above green blue. As long as it rides above there, pretty consistent to upside move. And even when you're getting a counter idea of following green and yellow, or even for that matter following yellow with orange even below, as long as that red is maintaining that, you're in that trend. So it gives us the effect of what we would see from the shakeout without actually having to have that in front of us. And then from the beginning of the day, we actually saw the turn earlier than these markings were right here. Definitely consistent though once we had the green over cyan right there, but just a fraction difference when you're looking at it from a NBI standpoint. So a lot of good things. Be making much more of those adjustments and reducing those elements. And so as soon as I have them, I will definitely send out updates along with it. But all in all, spectacular to see us get over that 4K number. It's been a while coming, and now we're there. So we'll continue and then set up the next set of projections. As always, though, trade well, and we'll see you on the Skype chat. We can cover that, but everyone else have a good Friday, Passover, and see you back here again once the week begins. Should be exciting.